Kotite and the management of the Eagles. He would be a more than capable backup to Randall Cunningham should he return. He says he'd like to come back to Philadelphia, but also says he'd love a chance to start somewhere, so no doubt he will test the free agent market.
Well, I think some guys are meant to be starters and some guys are meant to be backups. And I like what Bubby Brister is doing here in his starting role, but I think he's most effective as a backup. I think he's a guy you bring in on the sideline and you let him, off the sideline rather, you let him play, and then you let him play within himself. So you limit some things, and then you expect him to go out and get it done.
The rookie on 3rd and a yard, and it looks like he should have the first down. And he does. To the 25-yard line. Bailey and Williams come back in at the wideouts. Maurice Johnson leaves along with Hebron. First down, Eagles. 6:40, and the clock their ally now. On their last touchdown drive, that 17-play drive, they took 9:22 off the clock. And of course, with Allen's second interception return for a touchdown so quickly, they have now got themselves with a 37-19 lead. Herschel Walker. A couple out the right side. And some finger pointing and conversation going on down there. No Christmas greetings being exchanged.
I got to tell you that the New Orleans Saint defense, who had been having problems coming into this game stopping the run, hasn't done a bad job against the run. We figure 35 carries today for, what, 107, 108 yards, 109 there. That's a pretty good, that's under 3 yards rush. That's a pretty good day.
Second and 9 this time for the Eagles. Nowhere to go that time. Sam Mills slicing through, and a flag comes down late. Loss on the play.
Sam's going to disagree with something being called here. That's a face mask. Now let's see if it was just a grasp or if it was a big one, 15 yards.
Tom White discussing it with his staff.
And here it comes right there. It looks like Wilkes gets his hand on the face mask.
Face mask. 5 yards, defense.
A grasp of the face mask.
Beat the down, 5 yards.
Those New Orleans turnovers, killers as they always are, turning into 19 Eagles points. And that is indeed the story of the game. 37-19.
Somewhere in all those warm-ups is Eric Allen, who scored 14 points himself on the 2 interceptions. He's played himself and had an exceptional day.
Second and 8, Philadelphia. James Joseph running hard has another first down, Philadelphia. We talked about their running backs. They've got a nice variety. They've got speed in the young rookie Von Hebron, who will only get better, of course. And then they've got this power running from Joseph and Walker. Keith Sherman, kind of a combination of the two. That's a nice group.
Yeah, it's a good 4 running backs, and they're really doing a good job of, again, staying behind the offensive line. That left side between Shad and McHale done a pretty good job today. They've run behind the bunch, and they've picked up some decent yardage.
First down at the 36-yard line. An Eagles victory, which seems apparent, would ensure that both the Lions and the Packers will get into the playoffs. Lions victory today, and the apparent Green Bay victory, setting them up for the title game for the Central Division next week, but they're both now in the playoffs, provided that New Orleans doesn't come back with some kind of miracle here. 3:51 left in this one. New Orleans will have their playoff hopes decimated with this loss here today to the Eagles, and the Eagles will stay alive, albeit briefly. They need some help, and they go to the final week at San Francisco. Tall order to win a game that they must win and still have help. Joseph gets about 3.
They walk Othello Henderson up and give him that 8-man front. And what happens in an 8-man front is you end up having player for player across the front, 7 blockers on 7 defenders, and then the 8th one come up, kind of bastardizes the set, and he's free to make the play.
Final score at Buffalo, where the Bills have defeated the Jets 16-14. And that means for the Buffalo Bills that they have clinched the AFC East. Tough battle up there at Orchard Park today, and the Bills prevailing. They have been a very good football team this last month. Pass for Joseph, and it's just an incomplete pass. Picked up by the Saints, but that's a forward pass and an incomplete.
Like Joel Smengi is down, number 99.
.239 left in this one. And these game Eagles, we talked about their fighting spirit despite all of their setbacks this season. We've seen it again here this afternoon. And with Matt Millen at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, there is one of the heroes of the Eagles today, Eric Allen. 2 interceptions, returned for touchdowns, 4 for the season, tying an NFL record. Ken Houston of the Oilers, Jim Kearney of the Chiefs, a long time ago, folks, more than 20 years. So that is quite an accomplishment for Eric Allen. They're still attending to Joel Smengi, and now he's just getting to his feet. We're happy to see that out on the field. The linebacker of the Saints playing today, starting today for Ronaldo Turnbull. Turnbull has been in for a few plays with his thigh injury, and Smengi apparently all right. Eric Martin has not come back into the game following what we're told is a mild concussion. Jim Mora has just had himself a horrible season watching his team disintegrate from a 5-0 start. Punt taken by Hughes, and Hughes breaks loose. Oh boy, got a good block. One man can get him, and he's not going to. That's Frizzell, and it is Hughes for the distance. Tyrone Hughes.
Tyrone Hughes picked up a big block by Torrance Small on about the 43-yard line, and that allowed him to go 83 yards for the touchdown. You know, at the front of that, Herschel Walker had an opportunity to make the tackle, and for some reason, watch him come in right in the front, and he slows down. And Hughes just, you're going to pick up a block right up here at the 43 right point, right there. You just saw it. Torrance Small knocked the guy down. And then he just outruns William Frizzell to the end zone, 83 yards for a touchdown.
His second punt return for a score this season for Tyrone Hughes. Great effort. So there's no quit in that young man despite the score of the game, and that brings it to 37-25. For the point after. 37-26 with 2:21 remaining in this football game at Veterans Stadium. Saints have only 1 timeout remaining.
Plus the 2-minute warnings that'll stop the clock.
Right. Some spark for the final 2 minutes.
Now watch Herschel. He's in a position to make the tackle. For some reason, he just lets it alone. And then Hughes just picks it up, and then the big block up here by Small. Right there, you see him. Ruzek get drilled, and then pure speed. And a funny thing, Herschel kept on trying to run.
It is 37-26, the Eagles in front of the Saints. 2:21 remaining. in the fourth quarter at Veterans Stadium. Most of the crowd here has left, confident that the Eagles will hang on to win this one. Eagles, after a 4